Okay, hey guys, we're live, and we are about to have our keynote speaker, and he's awesome. You guys, it's so entertaining. You're gonna love it. So stay tuned. Give us a second. Are there people back there that we need to bring in? Yeah, well, you know, haul their butts in because they don't want to miss this. Yeah. So we've done a lot of good over the last couple of days. And my heart is just like exploding. How many people are out there? How much time do I have to kill? Thank you. I've got a hook in my car, just like an SD card. But you know what? I got a joke.
Oh, yeah. We're on live. Let's do it.
I know, we're on live. And so if any of my friends are watching this, they're like, oh no, I know exactly what joke she's going to tell. Why was the rooster happy?
Why?
Because!
You should have kicked the leg up at the same time.
Tom's reaction did it for me.
I just did that on Facebook Live. That cracks me up. All right. I know.
It's a TikTok already. It's fine.
Live from the Eagle Summit. This is the quality content that we bring to the stage.
You ready, Jeff?
Jeff, are you ready? Oh, no. Okay. I mean, can you follow that? Seriously, I didn't think so. I've only had one drink, too. So just wait. It gets better. All right. Chris, was there anybody out there? We're good. Okay, let's go. Okay, so I have no introduction for this guy. Just watch the screens.
To rise above the dividend line, consistently deliver our best, and add value to the community, we must harness the power of the champion within. Our speaker is Jeff Kozatek, peak performance coach with core authenticity. He is a business trusted advisor and certified coach with both the Values Conversation and the John Maxwell team. Jeff uses a proven process to help leaders overcome overload, doubt, and burnout. Today, he will show us how we can be the champion for ourselves, our families, and our community. Get ready to be equipped and encouraged. Put your hands together and help me welcome to the stage inspirational speaker, best-selling author, and peak performance coach, Jeff Kozatek.
Can we do that again? That was a lot of fun. I'm sorry, I don't normally get that. That's really great. Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening.
How are you all doing?
Awesome. Better now.
All right, I have one thing to say to you. Are you ready? 90 minutes.
That's what the agenda says.
I know. So I just thought I would be really clear about expectations right out of the gate. 90 minutes. You can take it to the bathroom and be fine, but everyone else here is stuck for 90 minutes. It's going to be awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, folks, my name is Jeff Kozatek, your peak performance coach, keynote speaker with core authenticity, and today we are talking about the champion within, a leadership mindset. I love mindset. If you like mindset, can I get a yeah?
Yeah.
All right. That's good. That's good. This has been an amazing 2 days. Amazing speakers, generosity flowing abundantly, Tom's legacy living on. I just met Tom 2 years ago. I had a chance to speak last year, which I'm very, very grateful for. Thank you, John. Thank you, Sandy. Coming back again and seeing the impact that Tom has had. I met Lisa Nichols. I'm currently mentoring with Tessa Greenspan, who mentored with you. I mean, the layers, you have no idea what's happening as a result of you stepping out, being the champion for yourself and your community. It's pretty amazing. I am censoring myself. It's pretty Amazing. You know what I'm saying? If you do, say yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of you did not get a chance to do that. I'm going to do it one more time so everybody can participate. If you feel me, say yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good. All right, so we're going to have fun. We're going to hang out. We're going to talk about mindset for 90-ish minutes, probably like 82 at this point. And we're going to have fun. I'm going to give you some stuff to think about, and then we'll roll out. Sound good?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never done that. It's always been a yes. It's just that yeah, that's new. That's fresh. That's real. Authentic. Okay, so here we go. We are talking about the welcome. Welcome. Check. Your invitation. I don't know if any of you noticed on the intro video, there was a clip of me coming on stage and I received a standing ovation. Did anybody notice that?
No.
I'll back it up. So I was speaking to this group of like 400 people, and as I was taking the stage for the first time, I was doing 2 keynotes that day, and as I took the stage, everybody stood up. What? Holy cow. Do you have any idea what kind of an impact that had on me? Just take a guess. Throw it out. There are no wrong answers.
Huge.
Thank you. That's like in Sunday school. Jesus? Yes. It was huge. What kind of an impact do you think that had on me as a speaker?
Motivated.
Yeah, I was motivated,
Confident.
confident, energized. Yeah? The what?
Uplifted.
I was uplifted. And it wasn't just the stage. I felt good. Now, how do you think that impacted the audience? For them to stand up and applaud and smile. What kind of an impact do you think it had on them?
Engaged.
They engaged, yeah.
Are you asking for something?
No! I'm not. They're standing and applauding right now. That's not. Wow. Wait, keep standing. Chris is taking a photo. I appreciate the sympathy, standing ovation.
You just want a better show. We needed to uplift.
That's not a critique on you. I just want you to think about the impact that mindset had on that audience. We talked about engage. I love you.
I love you for.
What else do you think that did for them?
Made them
They
feel
were
connected.
ready.
Man, we were all like all up and they were like, the what?
Said it made them feel connected to you.
Made them feel connected, they were engaged. Do you think that opened them up or closed them down? Yeah, do you think they were sitting there like, okay, justify yourself, speaker. Prove that you're worth my time. Do you think it had that kind of an impact, or do you think it was a curiosity? Closed or curious? Camera 1, camera 2. Right, yeah, it was curious. So I want to invite you to make a similar choice. You can sit there and be closed and be like, psh, another bald, middle-aged white guy. Great. Very excited. I've heard lots of those. What do you got? Or you're too young, or you're too old, or you're a different skin color, or whatever. And you can shut down. Or you can sit there and open up and we can engage and hang out. This is your choice. This is a mindset that you bring to the table. I cannot make this choice for you. You get to make it for yourself. Yay! We call that hashtag ownership. Also, a leadership mindset, the champion within. Now, I want to ask you to make a choice. Option 1 or option 2. Okay? I'm going to tell you what the options are so you're not going in blind. Option number 1, because I come from a street performing background and I like to have fun, I like to talk with my audience. Option 1 is engagement. So I'm going to talk and you're going to talk. We're going to talk back and forth. We're going to laugh and ha ha. I might even talk with you. And then you will talk with me and then I'll respond tomorrow when I look at all the comments. So that's option number 1. Option number 2, I love this stuff. If you don't want to engage, you can just sit there and I will verbally vomit for 80 minutes. Those are the 2 options. Choose, but choose wisely. I will hold you accountable. So which is it? 1 or 2?
1.
1 or 2? 1? 1, 3 or 4?
1.
3 or 4? 5 or 6?
1.
5, okay. Shh, shh, shh. Right, all right, so we're going with 1. Everybody in for 1? Say yeah. Yeah. I'm keeping that. This is going to be fun. Okay, so here it is. Mindset. That's what we're going to talk about. This is amazing. By the way, listening to all of you other amazing speakers all weekend, I think it's going to wrap up really nice with a little bow. And the fact that John O'Leary was here speaking just a little while ago, you don't know this, but I have been following John O'Leary since 2017. Not in a creepy stalker kind of way, but when he first started speaking, he spoke for the Girl Scouts, then I spoke for the Girl Scouts. He spoke for Rockwood School District, then I spoke for Rockwood School District. He spoke for Vistage, then I spoke for
Vistage.
He spoke here, and now I'm speaking. He's speaking for $30,000? Yes! It's just a matter of time. That's the pattern, so I'm very excited to be here today. All right, so mindset. What is mindset to you? Shout it out. There are no right or wrong answers, and I'll share with you what I think it is. What do you got?
What you think?
What you think? You get a book. Did you get a book? Well, there's a book right over there. I got a book. Everybody, you get a book, and you get a book. What you think? What else we got? What else we got?
Attitude.
Attitude. Thank you. What else we got?
Choice.
Choice. Thinking, attitude, choice. See, that's the what is mindset. I define it this way: what we believe about ourselves and how we interpret the world around us. I put all that together into one word called, so what we believe about ourselves and how we interpret the world around us. I put all of that into one word. Here it comes. Mindset. Yeah. Mindset. Mindset is key. When we decided to go to the moon, it took one thing. It started with an M and ended with Mindset. What was it?
Mindset.
Yes. When Roger Bannister broke the 4-minute mile barrier, yeah. Oh, all right. Breaks the 4-minute mile barrier, and then all these other runners break the 4-minute mile. What changed? Mindset. Yeah, well, we're just using mindset. I did. And you're gonna. No, you're not. And it's part of my slides coming up. You're gonna love it. Yeah.
I chose option 1. Sorry.
And I love you for that, TJ. Heart. Right? Okay, if you are in a relationship and you start off feeling really good about who you're with, and then at the end of the relationship, it falls apart, what changed? Here, I'll give you a hint.
Mindset.
Mindset changed. When it comes to doing the dishes, what is key for me? So is cleaning the litter box and all the other fun stuff, right? Mindset. I'm going to say that this is at the core of whether or not we are able to give generously, whether we are able to respond in the moment to a need, which is pretty amazing. There's a lot behind mindset. If we do not have a champion mindset, we do not create a summit that lasts and goes 65 times. If we do not have a champion mindset, we don't step into the gap and fill that need. That's why I think it's important. Why do you think it's important? Why do you think mindset is important? Why are we even having this conversation at the very end of an amazing, full, and exhausting at the same time weekend? Why are we talking about this?
It determines how far you can go.
Determines how far you can go. Is that important? Does it matter?
Yes.
Yeah, it matters. Why does it matter? Eagles. See, I'm following John O'Leary's footsteps. Eagles. Does it matter?
Yes.
Yes.
Why?
Better life.
Better life, yeah. And?
What we think about.
All right, I'll take it.
It drives what we do.
It drives what we do.
More about emphasizing the journey rather than the destination.
Ooh, more about the journey than the destination? Why else? Eagles, table that I've not heard from on this side yet. You got to pass for the next hour. What do you think? What do you think mindset? Why do you think mindset is important? It's important that we're having this conversation.
Because thoughts become things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What you're gonna do?
summertime, really, really loud. Mindset is important because what?
It determines what you're going to do.
Yes!
I feel cheated.
You get a book. Another book. Yeah, mindset determines what we do. This determines whether we succeed or whether we see help needed and then respond and meet that need or walk away and, oh, good thing somebody else has got that. Mindset is the key. And I like to think of it as your personal thermostat. I once heard Bob Proctor refer to mindset as a thermostat. Do you know what this is?
A thermostat.
I know. Did I set that up enough? It's a thermostat. What's a thermostat do?
Regulates temperature.
That's the therms.
It sets the therms. Exactly. If you want your house set at a really nice 70 degrees, or 69, if you're me, you can do that. And then if it is cold outside, somebody leaves the door open and all the cold air rushes in, cools the house down to 62, what does your thermostat do?
Kicks on.
It kicks on, it turns on the heat, heats up the house. Oh yeah! I'm sorry, yeah?
Yeah.
If it's during the summertime and you have it set at 69 degrees, however, the sun is out and there are no clouds in the sky, so the sun beats on the windows and heats up the house to 71. And then you're sweating because you're me. What does the thermostat do?
Turns on the air.
It turns on the air and cools everything back down to a really nice 69 degrees. That's the thermostat. That's how it regulates the house. Your mindset does the same thing. I'm hoping that this will stick with you for a while. Thank you for laughing. Everybody else is just staring at you. Thermostat, your mindset is your thermostat. You will not outperform your thermostat. You will not outperform your
Thermostat.
I will take both answers because we're using them interchangeably. If your mindset, thermostat, is set at 69, and if you start outperforming your thermostat, and you're like, oh my gosh, look at this, my business is cooking, we're rolling in the dough, and your thermostat's like, what? No, sit down. And immediately fall into self-sabotage, and then we start shutting all that off, and then we start performing at a 69. Or if we're set at 69 degrees and then we start falling way back and now we start to underperform, do you know what your thermostat will do?
Kick it up.
It will kick it up. You'll be like, wait, I gotta get my stuff together. And then you engage, and then you put in a whole bunch of work, and then boom, the business grows. Boom, the relationship improves. And then everything is great at 69. And because things are going, you keep going, and then you're up to 75, and then your mindset's like, wait! Sorry. And it brings you back down 69 degrees again. Your thermostat makes all the difference. I'm a huge believer in this. Ask me why.
Why?
Yeah, but ask me like you really want to know.
Why?
I'm glad you asked. Because for years, I learned all the stuff. I learned all the tools. I read the books. The children love the books. I read the books. I attended the classes. I watched the TED Talks. I listened to the podcasts. I hung around with people smarter than me. Maybe some people I shouldn't have hung around with. The alarm's going on, right? And even though I was hanging out with all these amazing people and doing all this stuff, my business was not changing. My personal relationships were not changing. Why? Because of my mindset thermostat. It was set down. I'm going to make a change. Jeff, future Jeff, you need to land on one word and just stick there. All right. Future note. Yeah. Yeah, my thermostat, my mindset would not allow me to move forward. It kept me down. I would immediately start self-sabotaging to keep everything low. And then it wasn't until a couple of years ago when I learned how to effectively shift my mindset that everything started to shift for me. This was awesome, and this is what I want to share with you tonight. Sound like plan? If so, say yeah. Yeah. Did you get a chance to respond to yeah? Keeping it real. All right, so who sets your thermostat? Who? person. It's either your champion or your challenger or your champion. One of those is in control of your thermostat at all times. Your thermostat is never left unattended. Either your challenger is in charge, or your
Champion.
yes. Yeah. And there's only one person that gets to make that choice of who is in control of your thermostat. Do you want to take a guess who is in charge of your thermostat?
You.
Yeah, not me. You are in, yes, you. You are in charge of your thermostat only. Nobody else. You can't set my thermostat, I can't set your thermostat. At the end of the day, you make the choice, I make the choice. So how do we make the choice? How do we choose challenger or thermos? That doesn't make any sense. Challenger or champion. How do we make that choice? Don't ask, I'm just going to tell you. This is option number 2, TJ. I got you. For 25 years, I made my living in the entertainment business. This was an amazing job. Ask me why.
Why?
It really is going to be 90 minutes. This is fun. I'm just kidding. It's not going to be 90 minutes. It's like 82. All right. For over 25 years, I made my living in the entertainment business. It was awesome because as an entertainer, I got to cross a lot of social boundaries. Like John O'Leary, I got to talk to little kids. I got to talk to bigger kids. I got to talk to crazy organizations. I was talking to people that looked like me and didn't look like me. Believe what I believe, did not believe what I believe. Voted the way I vote, did not vote the way I vote. Similar lifestyles and different
Lifestyle.
living in the same space and living outside of the country. That's right, I am an international performer. Thank you, Canada. Hey. Because Toronto is on the other side of the border, right? It counts. For me, I crossed international performer. And that's how it's done. That's how it's done. Yeah. Everywhere I went, I ran into the same thing. No matter who was in the audience, everybody was wrestling with the same 2 questions. And these 2 questions are foundational for how we choose the champion or the challenger. Does anybody remember last year what that foundational question is? And that's why I'm back. That's okay. I got you. That's also why I'm back. Worth. What is my worth? That is one of the big foundational questions. Some people use the word identity. Some people use the word significance. I use the word on the screen. It is worth. Yeah. What is my worth? What is your worth? On a scale of 0 to 10. Don't say it out loud. This is rhetorical. Rhetorical. I want you to think right now on a scale of 0 to 10. If 10 is full, lacking nothing, and 0 is, oh no, where are you? This is key, especially for leaders. This is key. Not to be overly dramatic, and I can be because I'm an actor. This is everything. It's true. And it's also fun. We can have fun. So after we answer that question, the next question is what? Where does it come from? Where does our worth come from? There are really only 2 options that I've found. It's either internal or it is external. If we look for it externally, we usually go to one of these 5 buckets. You might recognize this in somebody else. We might look for it on our performance. Look at what I have created. Look at my list of trophies, my resumes. Right? Look at everything I could do. I made fire. Wilson. No. Wilson, Castaway. There will be random pop culture references throughout the talk. Party time. Right? So it might be on that. Or maybe the performance shows up in my knowledge. I am amazing because of what I know. Mansplain. Right? Even if I don't know about a topic, I'm going to tell you all about it because my wisdom through my performance makes me worthy. Have you seen that in other people? Yes or no? Yes. Yes. Or we might look for it on our property. Look at my house. Look at my other house. Look at my other house. Did you see my yachts? Look at my yard. And it's all about the stuff that we own. Or maybe it's in our appearance. Would you just stand up and right? Maybe it's in our physical appearance, right? Or maybe it's in our digital appearance, what we look like online. Or maybe it's what we look like when we go to church or to temple or when we go out to a restaurant. How does a family need to act and behave when we're out in public? It's our appearance. Or maybe it's what our organization does when we go to a conference, or how I show up at a summit, hypothetically speaking. Maybe even how do I show up at the 65th summit? I don't know if that's relatable. We'll throw it out, right? That's our appearance. Or maybe it's in our relationships. Did you know that I know name drop, catchphrase, name drop? Yeah, I'm a big deal. I spent the whole weekend hanging out with name drop and name drop. So-and-so wrote something in my book. Makes me awesome. I got to hang out with these people. That makes me awesome. And it's all about who we know. That makes us worthy and important. Or maybe it's not who we know, but it's how we know them. I'm important and worthy because I am a CEO, because I am a father, because I am a parent or a child or a sibling or an aunt or an uncle. Fill in the blank. Do you know anybody like that? Yes or no? Yes. They lead with their relationship, and that makes them worthy. Or maybe it's in our circumstance. This one is very personal for me. I spent a lot of time looking for my worth in my circumstance. I would walk up to people and say, TJ, you will not, man, today I overslept. And then when I was running around, I was trying to get my coffee ready. I was late getting my coffee, and then my kids were up, and they wanted me to talk to them before I was like alive, which was a problem. So that caused more problems. And then I'm rushing around, and I spill coffee on my clothes, so I have to change clothes, and then I'm running them out the door, and then I'm trying to get here, and then I run into construction and other stuff, and then I get abducted by aliens, and then when they return me, they didn't have the decency to drop me back off in Missouri, they dropped me off in Texas, and then I had to take a train because I didn't have a car, I didn't have my stuff so I could Uber, so I'm on the train, and then I finally get here. Aren't I amazing? Yeah, I didn't give up. When we look for our worth in our circumstance, we're constantly telling people our tale of woe. We want everybody to see all of the stuff that we're wrestling with so they know just how amazing we are. That's how I learned to survive. That's what was modeled for me as a kid. I am my circumstance. Now, a few years ago, I was working an event, and one of the volunteers had a name tag. We're going to call him Bob. And Bob's name tag said, Cancer-Free Bob. Where was Bob finding his worth? In his circumstance. I'm very excited that Bob is cancer-free. Very excited. However, if Bob is finding his worth in his circumstance, what happens if his circumstance changes? His worth drops. We have an issue. When we look for our worth outside of ourselves in any one of these areas, it invites the challenger. Pow! And when our challenger shows up, we start comparing. Am I doing enough as that person? Am I donating enough as that person? You gave her a van. I'm going to give you a fleet of vans. That'll make me worthy. Right? And we start competing for that, right? I'm going to outgive, or I'm going to outdo, I'm going to outwork. Or maybe we compete. I'm going to be the best at all costs, and I'm going to sacrifice personally way beyond what is healthy so that I can be the best. Or maybe I'll contend to be the best, and in that case, I'm going to make sure that I'm the best by making sure you do not succeed. And I start keeping other people down. Maybe I don't share opportunities. Maybe I don't share resources. Maybe I don't give a van. When I see a need, I don't fill it. Or maybe I control everything. Micromanaging. Micromanagers. Will Ferrell, Lego movie. Micro. Nobody? Not even one? Are you serious? Thank you. I appreciate you speaking up loud and meeting me here. in the middle of all of this, right? We start to control everything. That's what the challenger does. We know the challenger is in charge when we start doing that stuff. And when we start doing that, that brings all of this type of behavior. We start changing the rules. I don't have to do that. We're going to be a problem. We're going to get people first. We're going to keep other people from winning. I'm going to stop short of the finish line. I'm not going to follow through because I quit. I'm just not going to participate. I might be here, but I'm going to watch cat videos because they're cute. So cute and cuddly. Or dog videos. I'm equal opportunity. Right? Or maybe we'll just be the nice one. And we smile and say yes, but inside we are hulking out. All of this is a result when the challenger is in charge. And the challenger comes out when we're looking for worth outside of ourselves. Why? Because that's an automatic scarcity mindset. We're saying, there's not enough here. I have to go get it. I have to earn more. I have to prove myself. And if I'm proving myself and earning more, am I going to share that with you? The answer here is no. No, I'm going to keep it all for me, because if I give it to you, then I am less. And that's a problem. This is why I would like to suggest an alternative. It's very exciting. The alternative is intrinsic worth. Intrinsic worth, guess what? You say what?
What?
It's getting late.
My wife would say the same thing. She'd be like, what, Jeff? It's okay. It's late for me, too. I've been here with you. I got you. If it's intrinsic, it never, ever changes. Ever. On a scale of 0 to 10, it is 10 all the time, no matter what. Even if I'm going through a hard time with work, it is still, on a scale of 0 to 10, a 10. Even if I'm going through a rough patch with my significant other, I am still a 10. Even if I make a mistake and don't successfully ride the unicycle at the end of a conference, Keynote, last Friday, hypothetically speaking, I am still a 10, right? Even if I succeed and bring in tons of cash, I am still a 10. It never changes. And when we're sitting on intrinsic worth, it invites the champion. And when our champion is out, we engage, we equip, we empower, and we encourage. All things we need to do as eagles. All things that you are doing, that you've all been doing more than 65 times. And all the new people in the room, you are doing. This is why you're here. When the champion is out, we're doing amazing stuff. And when we engage, when we equip, when we empower, when we encourage, guess what?
What?
Thank you, both of you. We get the champion behavior. We're adaptable. We collaborate. We are proactively helping. We're empowering other people. We're persisting, we're engaging, and we're able to set healthy boundaries. Champion mindset. It's very different than the challenger mindset. And this is simply a choice. Challenger or champion. Everybody gets to choose. Now, some people will be like, well, Jeff, where does the intrinsic worth come from? I think it comes because we are all created in God's image, fearfully and wonderfully made on purpose for a purpose. Because we are reflecting an image of God, that makes us pretty darn worthy. In the Christian worldview, as you read through the Bible, it's why Satan is so frustrated. It's like, oh my gosh, every time I see you, I see him. Right? Enter challenge. Right? That's where the worth comes from. It's why Christ died on the cross to restore us to factory settings. Right? Behavior is not it. It's not about the value we're bringing to other people. It's our worth as a human being. It separates performance from performer. Anybody remember those commercials? Bud, Wise, right? Performance from perform. Yeah, see, it's fun. Even real late at the end of a long conference. Yeah. Champion or challenger. Now, some people will be like, yeah, but Jeff, I don't believe what you believe. That's fine. There's a guy named Albert Einstein. He lived a while back. People thought he was kind of smart. Anybody remember Albert Einstein or read about him? Yes?
Yes.
Yes. He once said there's only two ways to live life. One is as though nothing is a miracle. The other is as though everything is. It's a choice. Can you be successful as the challenger? Yes. And there are significant consequences that you will pay. When I lived my life as a challenger, one of the significant consequences I paid was looking at my life insurance policy as a way to care for my family. That is not a price that I would like to ever consider paying again. Does this make sense to you? Sometimes that consequence, sometimes that price might look like addictions, might look like all kinds of stuff. We're gonna move on because it's the end of the thing. We want to keep it light, not death. Cake or death. I'll take cake piece, right? Champion is very different. That's what we want. That's what we want. When the champion is setting our thermostat, oh, game on. Game on. So are you ready to go a little further down the rabbit hole and find out how we can support our champion so that we can keep our thermostat set high? What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah! What about you? Okay. All right, so here it is. I've got the 6 keys to mindset. These are 6 keys that I've picked up over the years, going through crazy, interesting medical challenges with my wife and being a performer. Yeah. So here we go. 6 keys. They are on the, well, actually, here. What do you, oh, it doesn't work. What do you think this one on the top left is? I'll take it. What about the one in the middle? Yeah, what about the one on the bottom? All right, great. Thank you very much. That has nothing to do with my keynote. I'm just giving a little feedback on my new merch. We've got what we want, our will to get it, the stories we tell ourselves, our feelings, our perspective, and our belief. Yeah. These 6 keys make up our mindset. What we want, our will, our stories, our feelings, our perspective, and our belief. So we're going to break those down really quick. First ones we're going to hit is want and will. As I mentioned, I've spent a long time in the entertainment business. There was a period of time when I was teaching people how to juggle, and I will still make the same guarantee that I made back then. I can teach anyone how to juggle, including you, as long as we meet 2 requirements. How many requirements?
2.
Ooh, is it hot in here? I'm sweating, Fred.
7.
Yeah, the setting is high. I teach anybody how to learn how to juggle as long as we met 2 requirements. Those requirements are they needed to want to learn. They did not want to learn how to juggle. There was nothing that I could do. Nothing I could do. They didn't want to do it. Does that sound like champion or challenger? Challenger, totally challenger. We needed a champion approach. Yes, I want to learn how to juggle. Then the next one, do we have the will to learn? This is where it got interesting. If somebody came to me and they said, I want to learn how to juggle. Okay, great. And they would throw a ball in the air and drop it. Be like, look, I can't. Like, what do you mean? Well, I dropped it. Like, oh, that happens. We'll pick it up. Okay, do it again. Okay, I can't. Why would they say that? Because, right, because they didn't have the will, because it dropped. They're like, look, it dropped. That's evidence that I can't do it. Is that champion or challenger? Challenger. The challenger is looking for evidence that it does not work. And every time we see evidence that backs up that belief, we're like, yep, it's not going to work. And then our will to engage totally drops. So if I was going to teach them how to juggle, we had to switch that to, how can I? Or what if you could? If we could make that switch, or even just add one word, the super magical word, yet. I can't yet. Right? Then we would stay in. They would stay in, they would push through, they might drop, but they would pick it up, throw it in the air, and eventually, because of their want and their will, they would be able to juggle all 3. Want and will, that's all we needed. That's all we needed. Even when I taught a guy who was, and Mark, if you're watching, I think you were like in your late 50s or early 60s. Mark came from a farming background. When he was young, he lost some fingers. He's in his, we're just going to say late 50s. And he didn't have all of his fingers. And he's learning how to juggle for the first time. Mark had the want. He knew exactly what he wanted. And I modeled it for him. So he knew exactly. It was specific. Specificity, John. Yep. And he wanted, the will to do it was there. And Mark learned so fast. When you are approaching your next challenge or your next opportunity, do you have the want to engage? Do you have the will to stick in there? When it comes to doing the dishes for your spouse, late at night, you just want to go to sleep. And your spouse says, hey, can you load the dishwasher? Do you want to? Do you have the will to stay engaged? Or maybe it's something with your business? I don't know. Want and will. This is huge. If we don't want it, challenger. If we don't have the will, challenger. And what's really interesting, and I think this came up earlier, we were talking about compliments. Sometimes it's really hard to get a compliment. I don't know if any of you can relate to that. You don't have to say you relate to that, but if you do, I want you to know I see you. I feel you. I hear you. Right? If we are showing up as a challenger and we think we are not a 10, we're like down here, then anybody that gives me a compliment, I'm like, you have no idea what you're talking about. I'm a 2. I can't receive the compliment you're trying to give me. And every time I'm going to make a mistake, I'm going to be like, look, I am a 2. That's what 2s do. I did not mean for that to rhyme. It just happened that time. Oh, sorry. The second one was on purpose. The first one was not. And when the challenger is in charge, then we like go out of our way to make sure that we'll fail. And so everybody can see, I'm going to do 3 in one hand. Oh, look. Yep, I'm just learning, and clearly I can't do it. That's challenger mindset. And when anybody gives us a compliment while we're in that state, it's very easy to deflect and minimize. And then if somebody says, actually, you are really bad, we're like, thank you. You see me. Because it most relates to my personal view of myself. Does that make sense? It's a little distorted and weird, and yet it makes sense at the same time. Can I get a yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we go with the champion mindset. Want and will. All right. Now, we're going to break down the other ones, but we're going to use my framework of engage, equip, empower, and encourage. How we can use those 4 things to help strengthen our champion will, our champion want, our champion story, our champion feeling, perspective, and belief, so we can have that champion mindset and maintain it. Because honestly, sometimes that mindset shifts. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah. All right, so earlier, you did a poll, and you totally proved this point. You're like, where are we at with gratitude a week ago? What number was it? Anybody remember? Yeah, it was in the 6. It was in the 6. Way down. It was set down here. And then we do it again today, and what did the number jump to? 9.4. He was so excited. I was excited. Everybody was excited. This is a room full of eagles. I don't know what an eagle sounds like. It's like a dying. Right? Yeah, this is a room full of eagles. We're all leaders. We're all doing stuff. Everybody's got a day. Sometimes we have multiple days. Sometimes they string together. And the mindset kind of goes up and kind of goes down. These things can help us get back up on track. Okay?
Okay.
Do you want to fight me on that?
No.
Do we agree?
Yes.
Any undecided voters? Okay. All right, so here we go. Let's talk about feelings. We're going to use engage for feeling and perspective. Feelings. Oh my gosh. How many of you have heard people talk about feelings as being positive or negative, good or bad, right or wrong? You ever heard that?
Yep. Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to say, no, sir. I disconcur. I'm going to suggest to you that feelings are like lights on your car dashboard. They're just letting you know what underlying need, value, or belief is being met or neglected. That's it. It's information. Oh my gosh. And if we pay attention to that, and then we dive down into the roots, we engage with the feeling rather than dismiss it. No, stop crying. You're crying too many times. What did John say? Like, every time was too much, but once a month was okay? Ish. But if instead of minimizing or pushing the feelings aside or shoving it down, we take time to engage and go down underneath and figure out what's really going on, then we can strengthen our champion mindset rather than reacting and inviting the challenger. Gratitude was on this list before I knew what was happening at the conference. But gratitude really comes from perspective. For me. It's how we look at things. Like right now, my perspective of this room, I am not alone. There are people here. Some people are smiling. Some people are like, I'm done and ready to go. Will you please stop? There's a few doors so I can get out if I need to. And there are windows. It's really great. And apparently there's a bunch of people out there, but I can't see them because it's really small and I'm older now. Hi. Right? Now if I shift my perspective in the same room, I look this way, there's a sign in front of me. It's really big. It's so big I can't read it. There are no exits. I am all alone, by myself. And I'm being amplified, and I don't understand what's making that happen. Did the room change?
No.
Where did you go? Nowhere. Right. The only thing that shifted was my perspective. What?
Perspective.
Yeah. So if I just shift my perspective over here, oh my gosh, you're all back. You're all back. It's like that old, I think it's a Chinese proverb, like of the farmer, and is that enough for you? Or do you need more? I need more. Okay. The old Chinese proverb about the farmer, that one, where the farmer's got the son, and the son is home, and they're raising their crops, and the son is out, and he's on the horse, but then the horse gets spooked, and he falls, and he breaks his leg, and we think, oh, that's bad, because the son broke his leg. And then there's a war going on, so they come in to recruit everybody, all the young, able-bodied men in the village, and they're like, oh, we can't take him because his leg is broken. So then we're like, oh, actually, that's good. And then, actually, because he's here, then this thing doesn't happen, and then, so that's bad. But then because of that, this happened, and that's good. It's just a matter of shifting perspective. Perspective. Shifting what?
Perspective.
It's like Sesame Street. Perspective. Yeah, we shift the perspective. Same situation, just a slightly different way of looking at it. When my wife was diagnosed with cancer in 2022, and she had to have a bilateral mastectomy, which is not fun. She'd always wanted a breast reduction, just not that way. But the insurance paid for it, so that was good. We look for the positive, right? She goes through that, and then she goes through chemo treatment. And during all of that stuff, they tell us she's got the gene that is genetic and will be passed down potentially to our kids, and then our kids' kids, and then our kids' 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 kids. I'm a man that is driven by hope. When I heard that news, the light at the end of my tunnel for my family went out. My perspective shifted. And I was like, man, the tunnel is gone. I have no more tunnel. Now, that's not a guarantee that the kids get the gene. It's not a guarantee that if the kids get the gene, they're going to get cancer. It's just a higher increase of probability. But in that moment, my perspective totally zeroed in on this. And in that moment, the light went out. And I was there for about a week. And then I realized, no, a person without a tunnel, a person without purpose, is not a person that I want to be. So I built a new tunnel. I shifted my perspective, and I went, okay, well, let's build a tunnel out for a day. Then let's build a tunnel out for a couple days. Then maybe a week, then a couple weeks, and a month. My situation did not change, just my perspective. Just my perspective. And as I shifted my perspective, my champion came back. And when my champion was back, I was able to lead my family. I was able to engage with my work. I was able to be the champion for the people that depended on me. And gratitude is another great way of shifting perspective. There's always something amazing to be found if we look for it. Always. Always. And we can choose to just focus on this part, or we can choose to acknowledge this part and then look at that. Going through the cancer fight with my wife, shifted how we show up in life. She is cancer-free. We spent all of 23, oh yeah, she's cancer-free, yay! Sorry, when you live it, you're like, yeah, that part already happened. Now we're on to the next thing. She's cancer-free by the end of 22. So 23, we're out living, we're traveling all over the world. She gets tattoos, I get a tattoo. I've got another one scheduled for next month, very excited. Who would have thought that was gonna happen? But it is. We're having a great time. The only thing that shifted was our perspective and our gratitude for the way that she came through that, our gratitude for the doctors, the gratitude for the support of our community. Okay. Equip. Equip for stories. Oh, stories and stacking pebbles. This is very important. Is it any of this helpful for you so far?
Yes.
Is this good? Okay. If not, you can say no and we can cut it early. It's like a choose your own adventure keynote. Yeah, so this is good? Okay, so we talk about want and will and perspective. We're going to talk about stories because the stories we tell ourselves matter. There's this really weird thing about humans where we totally focus in on all the negative stuff. Is it just me or does anybody else do that? Yeah? Thanks, Fred. You and me, we're dressed alike, we think alike. I got you. You're like my brother from another mother. Yeah. Yeah, our stories. Like, if I make a mistake, I often bring all of my mistakes with me. Now, I had some really great successes 3 months ago, but I didn't write them down. Guess what happened? I did. I totally forgot them because I did not stack the pebbles. In my book, Blueprint for Value, which everybody should have gotten a copy at. If you didn't, there's a stack of them over there. Stack of them. Stacking pebbles. I know, and it's thematic. It's thematic. Habit 20 is stacking pebbles, keeping track of the wins along the way. The big ones and the little ones, specifically the little ones. If we don't keep track of the little ones, oh my gosh. Then we just look for, we're like, a win is a graduation. A win is sealing this deal. A win is climbing to the top. We were talking about this earlier, Mount Everest. You're up there for 5 minutes. How much training did we say that took? 2 years? 3 years? A long time. A long time. And if we're not stacking pebbles, we miss all of the progress along the way, and then we're like, I'm not winning because I haven't made it to the top of Mount Everest yet. So we learn to stack the small stuff, pay attention to the small stuff, write that down. There's a reason in the book, the good book, the Bible, the B-I-B-L-E, that they made Ebenezer's. I think it's a really weird name, but they would stack rocks. Did you make an Ebenezer?
No, I have to tell you, that's my middle name is Evan from Ebenezer for this reason.
No way! You are a stack of rocks? Yeah! You feel me?
You're like, it's a weird name, and then I said that.
I mean, it's a fantastic name.
I've always thought it was weird.
I mean, like a standalone word, it's kind of weird, but as a name, it's amazing. We just edit out the other part. Yeah, right? We have to keep track of that because instinctively we want to let go of the good stuff. We just want to look for the big, negate all the small stuff, and just focus on all the stuff that doesn't work. And we write our story. Who's writing your stories? Are you writing it? Is somebody else? So, when I was 5, I was run over by a 1978 Monte Carlo. Does anybody know what kind of car that is?
I had one.
You did! Nice.
But I didn't run over you.
No, you weren't there. You weren't there. So here's this crazy situation. So as a 5-year-old, I'm in the... Hey, how are you? Thanks for coming.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Can we get you anything? Do you need water? Or... Okay. I'm 5, and I'm over at my mom's friend's house, and we're leaving. She's in the front seat. I'm in the back seat. We're getting ready to back down the driveway when all of a sudden this kid comes running around the house, chased by a swarm of bees. A bee veers off heading towards the car. What does my mom do? She rolls up the window. Right? But she can't get it up fast enough. The bee comes into the car, lands on my shoulder. As a 5-year-old, looking at a bee here, that's a big bee. That's a big bee. It's all rub-a-dub-dub all up on my shoulder. That's a big bee. Grizzly man, that's a big bear. That's a big bear. No? Nobody saw Grizzly Man? That's just for me. Okay, so the bee's there on my shoulder, and I'm freaking out. So I scream. In my scream, my mom loses control of the car. As she loses control of the car, she screams, which then grabs my attention. So I'm like, wait, what's Mom freaking out about? And then I realize we're rolling down the driveway backwards. And I look back there, and they're like, we don't want to do this. We don't want to go out in the street. So I'm like, what can I do as a 5-year-old? I know, I'll fling open the door, I'll jump out of the car, and I'll push on the door to keep the car from rolling down.
Can't believe a 5-year-old would fix that.
Well, that's what I did. And it was a 78 Monte Carlo. Did I mention that? It's a big car. It's heavy. I'm 5. Who do you think won? The car. And so I'm pushing until I can't push anymore. The car knocks me down. I fall half underneath the car, and the front tire rolls over my stomach, and then I end up going to the hospital. My mom, somehow she gets hurt. She goes to the hospital, and I spend several days in the hospital under surveillance because there was nothing wrong with me. The doctor was like, I don't understand. The kid was run over by a car. There should be issues. I don't believe it. I'm told that he came in and he saw the tire track on my stomach and said, oh, okay, well, let's keep him in for observation. Just make sure all the insides are working. So I was in the hospital by myself as a 5-year-old after just having a traumatic experience with a car for several days. The story that I told myself was that I overreact. I overreact. The bee landed on my shoulder. I overreact. Because of my overreaction, other people get hurt. I started picking up responsibility for what my mom did. And then I try to do what I think is right, and it doesn't work. So not only do I overreact, not only do I cause harm to other people, but I can't do it. I am incapable. And what's worse, I will be left alone. I will be abandoned. I'm too much. I'm going to hurt other people. I can't do it. I'm going to get left behind. That's the story I pick up as a 5-year-old, and I carry with me for decades. That set my thermostat. Do you see how this ties together?
Yes.
Yes.
So several years ago, I go back to this story, and I'm like, wait a second. Let's examine that as an older, wiser, more mature guy, and not just a 5-year-old. I'm like, okay, bee lands on the kid's shoulder. It makes sense that he would scream. It's appropriate, not too much. Rewrite that part of the story. Am I responsible for my mom's choices behind the wheel of the car? Yes or no?
No.
No, she's a grown woman. She's got it. I did not cause her pain. Rewrite that part of the story. I see a need. I jump into action. I engage. My champion engaged. And then I empowered myself to take action. And I pushed on the car door. The car door knocked me under. But it wasn't because I was incapable. I was just ill-equipped. Change that part of the story. And then I'm in the hospital by myself for days. I thought I was abandoned. No! There's only one dad. I only had one dad. He's taking care of his wife, who was pregnant with my brother at the time, who's in the hospital. He's taking care of work. He's taking care of the house, taking care of the dog. He can't be everywhere all at one time. He put me in the hospital so I could get the help that I needed. I was being cared for. Oh, well, rewrite that part of the story. I'm telling you, what stories do you have that you brought with you today that you started telling yourself way back then that's got your thermostat all jacked up? We can go back and rewrite that. You can rewrite that. It's pretty amazing. I'm just saying. After I wrote that story a little different and I started stacking my pebbles, oh my gosh. My marriage, way up. My parenting, way up. My business, yeah.
Yeah.
Right? And all of this had something to do with that. The other thing I wanted to ask you as we stack pebbles is we're talking about looking for the wins versus looking for the losses. Do you know what these are? I know. I love M&Ms. They're the best. These are peanut M&Ms, my fave. I want you to look at that pile of M&Ms, and I'm going to give you like 5, maybe 10 seconds to count all the blue ones. All right, you got 10 seconds. Go. No, just say it out loud. Don't say it out loud. Just keep it in your head. Keep it in your head. All right, somebody said it out loud. We're going to go with a different color. Count the green ones. Don't say it. Just keep it in your head. All the green ones, all the green ones. Don't say it out loud. Don't say it out loud. And, okay, if you've got a number, please raise your hand. All right, everybody count all the green ones? Great. Now, I want you to tell me how many red ones there were. You're familiar with this. You probably used this. Yeah, just guessing. Does anybody know how many red ones there were?
Like 4.
4 or 3? Why can't you give me a definitive number on that? This is a legit question. Why can't you tell me how many red ones there were? You weren't looking for them. You weren't looking for them. You weren't stacking the number of red ones. You were stacking the number of blue ones until I changed it. There are actually 16 red ones. So you were close with 4. There's a lot of examples of this online with the gorilla walking through the soccer stadium. People have done the M&M experience before. I just want you to understand, if you're not looking for it, you don't see it. This is why we need to stack pebbles. When we stack pebbles and we keep track of our wins, we strengthen our champion. If we're not stacking, we're missing so much joy, so much opportunity, so much of the good stuff. And if there's one thing from a Christian worldview perspective that Satan wants you to do is to forget about all of that and forget about who you are and whose you are. Stack the pebbles. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Empower. This one is my favorite. This is all about belief about the future. I heard Bob Proctor talk about A, B, and C-type goals. He said A-type goals are the ones that we've already achieved, we know how to do, and we can do again. B-type goals are the ones that we understand how to get, but we haven't gotten yet. Does this delineation make sense?
Yes.
All right, then there are C-type goals. C-type goals, we have no idea how to get them. No idea. He's like, go for the C goals. And I'm like, okay. And he quoted Steve Jobs. It's like Steve said, once you hit success, then you can look back and you can connect the dots. But before you hit success, you don't know which dots to connect. Did you know which dots to connect to get the van before today? No. Dot, 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 dot. Bingo. Yahtzee. I've never said that. It just seemed right. Yahtzee. Yeah. Yeah, right? No. C-type goals. We set a goal. We have no idea how we're going to do it. In 22, I spoke for the St. Louis Cardinals baseball team in exchange for cash and tickets. Yeah. This was a good year. This was a really good year. I'm just saying. I mean, let's call it a spade, right? So we end up going and we get green seat tickets. Have any of you ever been to the green seats at Busch Stadium?
Yes.
Yeah, right? I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what we were getting into. So we get there and they're like, oh, right this way, Mr. Kozatek. Down here, Mr. Kozatek. Walk into this nice restaurant, Mr. Kozatek. Eat whatever you want, Mr. Kozatek. Really? My kids are like, I can have another steak? Yes. Can I have more cake? Absolutely. So they're eating all of this stuff. And I'm thinking, you better fill up before the game because it's free. Eat, Santa, eat. So they're eating all this stuff. And then we go out to the seats, and do you know what they do?
They come out messy.
They come out to you with a menu with no prices because it's free. And they just keep feeding you and feeding you. My kids ate 7 hot dogs each after the multiple steaks in the restaurant and tons of ice cream. Oh, they loved it. They were having a great time. We're like 3 rows behind home plate. We're watching Albert Pujols. Now the city loves him again. Yay! Yay! See you, Albert. And Molina's right there. We're so close. And my son, who was 13 at the time, was looking around and said, Dad, I wasn't going to come, but I'm really glad I did. This is awesome. You got this because you spoke for the Cardinals, right? I was like, yeah. And he goes, you need to speak for the Blues because I want to go to December 11th game against the Colorado Avalanche. Can we make that happen? And I said, yes. Did I know anybody at the Blues? No. Did I have any idea how that was going to happen? It was August. Absolutely not. This was not an A. This was not a B. This was a C-type goal. And I'm like, okay, C-type goal, stretch. I don't know the dots, but we'll give it a shot. And so I start talking to people. And I start pursuing this goal. I don't know how it's going to happen, but I put it out there. And I'm talking to people. I get introduced to people at the Blues. I tell them what I'm doing. And they think I'm crazy. And I'm like, no, I'll just speak for free. It's an object lesson for my son. I just need 4 all-inclusive tickets to show him what's possible when you set a dream and you have no idea how to get there. That's all this is. And I am a professional. I do know what I'm doing. They're like, okay, we'll get back to you. Every month, my son's, Dad, are we going to the game? You betcha. Do you have the tickets? Not yet. Are you speaking for them? I don't know when. That's true. 2 weeks before the game, still no tickets. And then my buddy Jim calls and he's like, hey, Jeff, tell my friend all about the deal, and he's got 4 all-inclusive tickets for you. You can go to the game. You don't even have to speak for the Blues. You're just going to give me 4 all-inclusive tickets? What? Did I see that dot? Nope. My son wanted to go to the game. I made it happen. I set a C-type goal. That never would have happened had I just stuck with my A and B-type goals. With just what I've known. I went after something that might seem illogical to other people. I did not limit my future success based on my resources today. Because I don't know what's coming up tomorrow. You didn't know what was coming up. None of us do. So why limit that? For those of us of faith, God is much bigger than today. Yeah. Can I get an amen? Amen. Oh, preach. Okay, so that, real quick, stretching goal. Everybody, please stand up. Please stand up. Please stand up. Yeah, see, pop culture references all over the place. All right, so here we go. Everybody standing up. Thanks for hanging with me. I don't even know where we're at. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I want you to take your hands, and I just want you to clap them together a little bit. We'll take it out a little bit. Okay, now spread them out like this, like you're a T, and now we're going to bring them together right up front, all right? And hold them right there, hold them right there. Now here's what we're going to do. You're going to take your left hand, my right hand, your left hand. You're going to keep it straight here, and then you're going to take your right hand, my left hand, and you're going to turn around, and you're going to go as far as you can comfortably. Wait. Oh. Listen for the instructions. See, champions, we're like leading. We're like, I'm all in. You're like my wife. That's a whole other story. All right, we're here. Now, when I say go, I want you to turn around. Not yet. When I say the word, when I say, then we turn.
I'm not moving.
Okay? All right? And I don't want you to turn where it's uncomfortable, okay? Okay? Everybody with me? Yeah. You're going to turn around, all right, and go, turn as far as you can go, and then stop. Make sure you lock in on a point of the wall behind you. Do you remember the point?
Yes.
All right. Hold that point in your head. Come back to center. Drop your arms so that nobody hurts their shoulders. Now, here's what we're going to do. I want you to close your eyes. I got my eyes closed too. I can't see any of you. Hopefully, you can't see any of me. Okay, great. You were cheating. I peeked. All right, so we got our eyes closed. Now, in your mind, not with your body. In your mind, you got your arms out in front of you. Your hands are clasped together, just like what we did. And in your mind, we're going to take your right arm, my left arm, and we're going to spin all the way around. In our minds, don't do this for real. In your mind, you're going to spin all the way around 180 degrees, and then you're going to come back to center. Now you're going to go all the way around again, this time 360 degrees. That's right. Now your right hand is on the back of your left hand. It's kind of a little weird, so we're going to untwist, and now we're back to center. And now we're going to do it one more time, but this time we're going to spin all the way around 2 times like an owl. I know, it's going to be nuts. We're going to do this. Now we're all twisted up, but we're facing back to front. And now we're going to untwist. We're back to starting. Now open your eyes. Okay, arms out in front. Everybody with me? Why aren't you sweating like I am? All right, and now I want you to take your right arm, and I want you to turn around and point as far as you can go.
Now?
Yeah, go. Go, Sandy, go. Okay, did anybody go further that time?
Yes.
Okay, have a seat. We need to talk about that. Because what changed? Did you go through some kind of yes, it's this mindset. Exactly. Mindset changed. You didn't go through some crazy stretching regimen. No. You didn't go to a chiropractor, and we have one. I think we have one in the house.
Back here.
You didn't go to the chiropractor. You don't get a massage to loosen everything out. I'm so bummed I missed that. You didn't do any of that. Only thing that changed was what you believed, what you saw was possible, your vision. That's it. The champion does the same thing. The challenger does not. The challenger sticks to A goals, not C goals. When we have our mindset stuck on A, we will never get different results. It's pretty cool. All right, so those are 6 keys to mindset. Being specific about what we want, having the will to go after it, watching the story that we tell ourselves, being aware of our feelings and what's underneath, checking our perspective and our belief about the future. All 6 of these come together to form the champion mindset. And I'm here to tell you, when you work on these 6 areas of your mindset, it works. Okay, last part, if you'll permit me. This is not a one and done thing. We've had an amazing time this weekend, talking a lot about gratitude. We're empowering, encouraging other people. We are engaged, we are learning stuff. And you're learning stuff, which I appreciate. And then you're going to go back out into work, or you're going to go back into the relationship that you might be working on now. You might face some pushback. You're not enough because you don't have hair in your 40s. Hypothetically. You're not enough unless you have the latest iPhone, 16,000. You know, you will never be good enough because I'm your parent and I know best. I'm going to give you that story. And this stuff starts to build up like plaque on your brain. And it covers up that intrinsic worth, that 10, and you start to think that you are less. The worth does not change, but our perception of it does. Are you with me? So in that, our perception can change. And when our perception changes, who comes out? The champion or the challenger? The challenger comes out. When the challenger's out, we're comparing, we're competing, we're contending, we're controlling. We are not empowering other people. We're not equipping other people for success. We're not engaged so we can properly respond, and we're definitely not encouraging ourselves or other people. This is why habit 52 for my book is so important. Hashtag wash your brain. This is not one and done. It takes repetition, repetition, repetition. This is my favorite part. Repetition, repetition, repetition. Repetition, repetition, repetition. That's right. I'm going to keep saying it until everybody says it with me. And I'm taking a really deep breath as a cue so you know it's coming. Repetition, repetition, repetition. Exactly. See, it's what we're doing again. Repetition, repetition, repetition. Now just you at home. Repetition, repetition, repetition. Yeah. Repetition. We just keep doing it. We keep doing it. And you do this. You engage, equip, empower, and encourage yourself through those 6 keys. You unleash the champion within, and then guess what?
What?
Oh, that was so good. All right, everybody repeat after Sandy. You keep that going, and then guess what?
What?
You hit champion level 2.0, and you become the champion's champion. And then you start to engage, equip, empower, and encourage the people around you. Oh, and that's what it's all about, to be an eagle. That's why we're here. It's really awesome. Really awesome. Champion or challenger, this is your choice. You get to choose the thermostat. Champion or challenger, who's in charge? Once the champion's in charge, you want to elevate your mindset setting? You want to go up to a really nice 110 degrees? You can do that with the 6 keys. Want, will, story, feeling, perspective, belief. Now I've got some notes. If you would like some notes, please scan the QR code. We'll send you some notes. There's also a link for a survey. I would love to get your feedback. I'm looking to grow. I'm looking to improve. I would love your feedback on that. Also, because of repetition, 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 you can join the Mindset Motivation Club, which is 3 emails that come out once. I don't know what that was. Not me. It wasn't me. 3 emails a week. A habit from my book, a thought for the week, and a short personal story to help keep your mindset motivated, to remind you that you are now, have always been, and will always be a 10. So your champion can stand confidently in the face of whatever's coming next. Now, I wasn't going to do it, but a lot of people asked, would you like one final object lesson with a giant red ball from Target?
Yes, please.
Great. Okay, so for that, I need a volunteer. John, thanks for volunteering. Come on up. All right, we're gonna put all of our stuff up on stage. Here we go. Thank you.
Do I stand on it, or what?
No, I don't have insurance for that.
Please, no.
All right, John and audience, and those of you at home, what we have here is a regulation straitjacket. You can tell it's a straitjacket and not a regular jacket because the buckles are not on the front, the buckles are on the what?
Back.
On the back. That way I cannot get in or out on my own. That's why John's here. Ah. Yeah, makes sense. John, will you please examine the jacket? Make sure it's real. No hidden trapdoors, smoke and mirrors, or detachable sleeves. Whatever you don't smell it, I used to work a lot. Before the dark times. Before the pandemic. It's very thorough. Thank you. Okay, now I need you to put me in the jacket. John, you're doing fantastic. There are 4 straps here on the back. Please start with the top strap. Work your way down. Make them as tight as you can. Start with the top. Yep, there you go. Okay. Yeah. Just make sure you stop after. That's good. That's fine. John?
We used to be friends.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. All right, stop after the 4th strap, okay?
10-4.
Okay, great. While he's working on that, I want everyone to know that all of the seams in this jacket have been sewn 4 times. That's a 4, so I cannot tear them. Please say, ooh.
Ooh.
We also have thick leather straps and heavy-duty buckles, making it difficult to escape. Say, ah. I know, it's a whole lot of fun. How are we doing here? We good?
3 out of 4.
3 out of 4. Take your time. How's everybody doing? That was really amazing. Tom came out.
So
We
awesome.
got to sing happy birthday.
We got 4.
We got 4. Okay, we have another strap here. I need you to grab that, pull it straight across my back, straight across to this side. This is the most important strap, John. You have to pull it as tight as you possibly can.
No problem.
That was just for the audience. John, it's theater.
Breathe.
I had the chicken and the steak tonight.
Pretty obvious.
Right, you
He's
good?
trying to catch a loop.
Yeah. Okay, there's one last strap. This one has instructions, okay? Yeah, no, I need you to pay attention. I need you to hear me. All right, so I'm going to engage you. I'm going to equip you. And then we will empower you to take care of the strap, okay?
I don't feel safe.
I don't feel safe either. All right, so that's just there to keep me from taking the jacket up and over my head. That's it. It does not need to be tight. Do you understand? John, I'd feel better if you weren't smiling right now. Do we have an understanding? John, you're a dad. I'm a dad. One dad to another. We're on the same team here.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, great. That's good, John. Just over the knees is fine. That's fine. Just make sure it goes through the buckle and the loop. We only want to do this once. I only want to do this once. Do you get it? Okay. Yeah, you did. That's great. Okay.
Do you know I stand on the ball? Or?
No, I just needed help with the straps. You did a fantastic job, John. You can have a seat. Please give John a big round of applause. John Nicely, everybody, with Story on Purpose. If you would like to tell your story on video, call John Nicely. He's got you. He'll help you get clear and on purpose with story. Instant clarity session with John Nicely. Okay, so here we go. This straitjacket. Why am I in a straitjacket?
Whole other day.
That's a whole other talk, right? Yeah, because stuff happens. Stuff happens all the time. Everybody's got some version of this. Maybe it's a medical challenge that you're facing. Maybe it's a financial situation. Maybe it's a change of relationships. Maybe it's a kid. Maybe it's the economy. Maybe you're really excited about, I don't know, you want this political party to win or that political party to win, and you're starting to feel a little anxious. And you're like, maybe I should add a little bit more gratitude. Or, I don't know, maybe my wife, in 2018, she had half of her face cut off to fix some jaw joint issues. And when they put her jaw back together, her face was physically different. It was just different. It wasn't exactly the same. because they changed a lot. So her face looks different. Not a lot. I still love her. I think she's amazing. But she knows her face. You know what I mean? Like when you know your face. And so her face is forever different. Going through cancer has forever changed her body. Chemo made us twin for a while, but now she's growing her hair back. It's fine. It's fine. But she's changed, so maybe it's an appearance change. Things are going to come up. And when that stuff comes up, it's very easy to forget what your worth is and where it comes from. And if we get caught up with those things outside of us, looking for our worth and significance and identity in our performance, in our property, in our circumstances, our appearances, our relationships, it can feel like this. And not only that, but sometimes it feels like this. Where we're like, hey, you're still with me. You're in a spot where things don't feel safe. You don't know where to put your foot next. And you feel like, I can't focus on thriving. I just have to survive. And if I don't focus totally on my situation and circumstances, it's all going to fall apart. Can anybody relate to that, or is it just me? Yeah. If you can relate to that, can you please give me a yeah? Yeah. Yeah. In this situation, we're like, where's the escape hatch? But there is another way. When we shift our focus from looking from external worth, we start standing on intrinsic worth, things start to change. When we start to rewrite our stories, when we get really specific about what we want and strengthen our will, sometimes it might take a while. That's okay. You do that, you look at what's going on underneath your feelings. Sometimes it's not comfortable to look at feelings, but you just hang in there. Just keep going. Just keep swimming. Finding swimming? Yeah? Okay. I got it. Ah. Whew. You shift your perspective, what you're looking at. I tell you what, those 4 E's, you engage yourself, you equip yourself, you empower yourself, you encourage yourself through the whole thing. It might take longer than you like, it might be more uncomfortable than you like, but I tell you what, you follow that plan and you will unleash the champion within. And this is not theoretical. This happens to everybody. What I'm talking about, you can do too. And we need you to do it. We need you to do it. Hang on a second. Okay, there we go. Just need a little more oxygen for a second. I'm getting older. Tom did this. Tom unlocked his inner champion. And look what happened. What will happen when you do the same thing? Ladies and gentlemen, folks, Sandy, thank you so much for letting me come back and be here part of all of this. You've been a fantastic audience. Oh, thanks, Fred. Give yourselves a round of applause. This has been great. Thank you. Make sure you grab a book. Pack up, buddy. Oh, I almost forgot. You don't have to sit. Stay standing. When you get the notes, guess what else you get?
What?
You get an accountability sheet. That's right. Champions don't go it alone. We go together. So you get an accountability buddy. And you link up to keep your champion going. The accountability sheet's on the end of the notes. You got it. Stay in touch. Rock it out. I'm going to go get a towel.
All right, guys, just really quick. It's been a long night, I know. I just want to share with you there will be a 66th Eagle Summit, and the keynote speaker has already been secured. and it is Robert J. Darling, 24 Hours Inside the President's Bunker, 9/11/2001. He's coming here on the stage next year for the 66th Eagle Summit. He was with President George W. Bush on the 24 hours right after 9/11. So you all, thank you for coming. Thank you for trusting me with this mission. And thank you for all of the generosity and the support and the energy. Have a good night.